our president launched blockchain technology in our country. And we had people who don't know what blockchain is, but they got that desire because they were seeing the president on TV talking about blockchain. Everyone wanted to know, what is blockchain? How can it help me? So instead of saying people are biased about Bitcoin, how can you show them that Bitcoin is a solution, not a problem? How can we show them blockchain is a solution, not a problem? So I urge the people concerned, let's find ways of breaking down the block to the people so they can understand it. Okay. Thank you very much.
Oh man.
So they release the chains. I want a question from here.
Thank you very much. From Uganda.
It's just a comment to add to my panelists from UCC. Remember what Dr. Young was talking about, the policy and the technology, those green and dark boxes. It is true that with blockchain, the whole idea started with no interference of regulation. We are on our own, we're doing our own thing. And yes, that is the attitude of developers, that's the attitude of technologists. But that being said, we still need some common playing field. We still need to make sure that everybody is adhering to some standards. Just like you go to the hospital, there's a scanning machine. There is a body that's set the standards of those scanning machines. If not, lab A, lab B will have different results reading your kidney strength. And would that be okay with you at that point? Even going beyond that, if all those information is put into a blockchain, and yet somebody has the right to, or we already know it's already encrypted, and somebody is saying no, let it be there forever and never to be exposed. How then is it value to you when you go to a hospital and they need that information, and because you covered it up, we can't even get it to work on you, and here you are, you're also not able to talk or do anything. So we still need some, it wouldn't be a regulation, maybe the word regulation sound too of an infringement, sound too of we are invading our space as developers and technologists. You guys don't want it to be there. But it's more of a guidance, it's more of a standard, just to make sure that we are all on the same playing field. And who will drive that? Like my Ugandan lady said, in their country, it was their president who came up with this whole drive. Now people understand it. For us, yes, the government has to do that. NITA, who is currently here as our info agency, needs to drive that and to understand it, because there's so much myth going on between blockchain and Bitcoin. And even with our young guys here, they can assent to that, because there's so much activity happening in that trading of that output or application of blockchain. Meanwhile, that money is to channel into some solution, business solution development. Here in our country, where we need a lot of those capacity building, we need a lot of those monies to be channeled in. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. So there's one question and there are two comments.
Okay, this is more information. Sometimes when you have multiple people owning pieces of the whole, it's almost impossible to have one organization determining everything. So instead, what you tend to do is go to coordination. For example, the internet is not regulated in Ghana. Okay? But there's a standard body for the internet, and there's a global coordination organization called ICANN that administers it. The same may be happening here. You have the tokens which are global. Some of them are, managed by different groups, and we are talking thousands of them. So it's difficult to mandate a direction beyond promotion or guidelines or best practices and so on within the edges. But at global level, we have to have coordination. And I think that is what perhaps is.
So I think that the word I used was not a good word. Regulation is a bad word. Coordination is a better word. Regulation is a way. But it's under governance. Prof, thank you for the intervention. Any more comments? Yes, sir.
Yeah, Tutu. And my statement is that how do we get people to trust blockchain when at the moment even telecommunication and mobile money sending is hit and miss?
Can you elaborate?
Well, for example, I was standing right next to my brother. He called and the phone said out of coverage area, yet my phone was still on. He tried to send me mobile money and he said the guy does not have the mobile money number.
Wow.
Whereas I called him from my MTN number. So how do we give trust in the system when we don't have the infrastructure to make it happen?
Interesting. Nana up to two, right?
Yeah.
So there are two questions on the floor: the information and the trust question.
Take a third question.
There are all questions, more questions, more comments.
My name is Nakana from Central. My question is, there was a survey made by one of these media men about the digital addressing. And then, if I remember well, this thing had a lot of advertising paid on TV, radio, newspapers, and then out of the survey made, about 80 people had not heard about digital addressing. Yes, 80% have not heard about digital. Yes. And I was shocked because I saw it on TV, and then I'll put together all that will say that blockchain is more or less like what my 881 says, that paperless world. So I'll put together that. But then considering, let's say, some companies that will actually require paper to evidence to do or to continue executing whatever they are doing, how is blockchain to serve them? And then two, I'm taking it way back to our grannies who actually have their data into someone's database that have no idea about what is in someone's database. They go to hospitals, they go to banks, and then they go to, some won't even go to the bank because they don't trust technology. They will rather keep or save their monies in their homes and stuff because they don't want to go there, go and fill forms, they don't want to go there, go and sign or maybe tamper into something. Is there a way to introduce data blockchain to them as a new technology, or blockchain is supposed to be a solution to their problem because they don't understand technology?
Okay.
That is why.
So I hope you guys get this question. First question: resistance. The question is on way, but I'm sure we'll deal with it.
First question was about information.
Yes. So you just allocate the questions among yourselves.
Right information was the first one.
RTI, trust, even technology systems, normal phone call is not working. And then the central investing question is very powerful. So you've not said anything. Back that point, take the mic and answer.
I would like to answer the gentleman from Central University's question.
Yes,
the one about how institutions that require paper can make use of blockchain. If that's a question, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the fundamental thing to understand about blockchain is that the technology is based on a form of verification. Okay, it's all about verification. Now, institutions that need paper to verify things can make completely like the possibilities are endless. Now, let me just paint a very simple scenario for you. Okay, blockchain is simply if, for example, I have a document, right? Let's say a contract or a transcript, for example, right? And you want to verify it. Blockchain, what blockchain facilitates is that you take this document, you have some information about this document that can be verified. Okay, so let's say this document, I don't want to use a technical, so it's actually a hash. If someone of you know what hashing is, you take a hash of the document, which is like a code. Okay, a code of the document that you can use to verify it. Okay, let's say like a password. Okay, let me use like a password to illustrate this. So you take a passcode of the document and put it in the blockchain. Okay, so now anybody who wants, let's say, gets a copy of the document and wants to verify its authenticity, simply has to take a copy of the document that they have. For example, let's say it's a transcript or a contract. The person who creates the document puts that code on the blockchain. Now, if I get a copy of that document, maybe a photocopy or an electronic copy, all I need to do to verify whether this document is authentic is to generate a code, which is generate a hash of the document and compare it to what is in the blockchain to see if it is different. Now, the way the blockchain works is that if you take a hash of a document and you store it, it has a particular value. If I put even a full stop in the document and I hash it, it's completely different. So that's what you use to verify its authenticity. So in that aspect, you see, the blockchain is a ledger. So every single hash or every single verification text of anything, any application, be it a document, be it a currency, be it a record, be it a registration of land, you can have so many applications to use to verify it. So that's how, I know it may be a little bit technical for you to understand, but it's relevant. Blockchain in its being is all about verification for applications like using it to verify papers. So for that one, blockchain in itself
We'll deal with it.
yeah, blockchain in itself is yes.
So I also start from the central investor question. In the colonial system, pre-colonial system, if you wanted to buy land, I'll use it to our sector. You went to see an elder, and he also went to tell the council of elders, who are about 12 or 13 people, that Max wants to buy a piece of land. Interestingly, they all knew that the parcel of land at that corner was vacant. And they all agreed that they are going to allocate that parcel of land to him. So that record is kept on the blockchain. So that means that all these council of elders have kept the first block on ground. The next development, if it transfers to the next person, it goes back to all the council of elders, which goes in turn our technology. So it's about education. It's about breaking it down to the simple form to even the least person, your grandma at home. That what we have been doing before is what has been just digitized. So we want to educate people more. We need to conscientize people more. We need to test the technology. The gentleman in white, yeah. Until we test the technology, it will not work. Sometimes there are cyber attacks. Big organizations have cyber attacks. The technologies have to be tested to be improved. So trust will always be built from the basic level to the highest level. That is what.
Thank you very much. Can we have blockchain working without RTI? Now the first person on the table. Who is going to answer that?
It can work without that. It can work without right to information, because for you bringing information to us, we also have to keep the information to you. But it has to do with government sector too. So if the government is moving to blockchain, then they also need to allow access to information, which has to go on quickly.
Are you sure about that?
Well, blockchain is already working without RTI in Ghana.
Let me add my take to this tricky question. Can blockchain work without RTI? I think there are two separate things. Because today, blockchain is working for the people who want to use it. It's just that it's not as proliferated as we would have expected it to be. But it is working. And if we educate more people and we convince them of the utility that it brings to them, we probably will get a lot more people to do that. But this is where I take another tap of this trade. This is the question technology enthusiasts and professionals have to answer. How do I take the technology of blockchain and use it to craft a solution for the person who is looking for information, who is encumbered by RTI, the absence of RTI? Again, when you talk about going to an organization which is entrenched in using paper, and so they are not inclined to adopt blockchain or whatever, that is the challenge to the technology enthusiasts. When I said research, yes, I was referring both to the academic research plus finding out the needs of ordinary mortals like me and people in either the banking sector or the legal sector or the transport sector, and developing solutions using the technology called blockchain. So if you find an institution that is unwilling to move away from its paper and you walk away, what you have actually walked away is from an opportunity. What you need to do is to try first, research the organization, understand why they do what. Let me give you a little example. In my place, we have a requirement to show our auditors, what do you call it? Original copies of documents in the finance department. So we have come up with our own approach. Every document get, we will scan. And once we scan, we will put it in the storage and index it. Now, we are coming up with our own policy, our own organizational policy, to state that if the document is stamped and initial and scanned and filed, it is as good as the original. We are hoping to discuss this with our auditors in the next few months. If they accept that, then it gives us the room to shred all the hard copy paper. And then we free 2 rooms of boxes and paper that we ordinarily don't need to have. So it is using the technologies that are available to craft solutions that is the critical feature. So when you find a place where they are resistant to the technology or the solution, that is an opportunity and not something to walk away.
Fantastic. I noticed we have a very nice lunch break, so there will be opportunities to engage in these questions, and these guys will be here as well. So if there are no pressing comments, and there are 2 pressing comments, okay, we'll take the last 2. Oh, the last 3. Oh, you changed. Oh, the last. You spoiled my thing. Let's end on the last 2. So it's like the last 4.
It's gonna be last 10 pretty soon.
Hello, so my name is Kwesi Dodu. So to add up a little bit with the Central University grant issue. Few months back, it was in the news that one young man had forged a certificate from UCC and was actually using it as a medical practitioner in 37. Now, this was so problematic, but then what I saw or think happened was, since UCC as an entity, okay, has this centralized certification process, before this person comes to work with maybe 37 military hospital, to go back and forth to do the verification, sometimes it takes time, or months, or even years. Now, when these certifications are being put on the blockchain, and then we use what we call proof of work, whereby a whole lot of people are able to sign it, it is very easy that when that person comes to apply for a job at this firm or hospital, we go onto the blockchain, and then it is very easy for us to be able to see who and where this person schooled. So instead of going back and forth with checking who schooled with UCC and all of these things, blockchain makes it easier since this technology is decentralized.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dodu.
Yes, my name is Kwame from BW. Alonski, I want to.
Why are you breaking down the video?
It's on the blockchain.
It's on the blockchain.
You can't change it. It's on the blockchain.
Okay, so listening to the panel, what I've seen is that they are all talking about verification, transparency, availability of this blockchain technology. You know, this blockchain, all the promoters, this is what they are telling us, but they are not making us feel that this blockchain can solve my grandmother at home in the village. That when she's going to buy something, it can reduce her cost by using blockchain. We are not seeing that. What we are seeing is that you can verify a book, you can verify your document, and we the ordinary users, we are not seeing why we should even use it. If it should be a complementary currency that if I'm going to hospital, using blockchain, my hospital bill will reduce. So then I can fancy and go into it. The other one is, I have a problem with the blockchain account. It's longer than my commercial bank account. And I cannot even remember them. And I try to, and you have to copy blockchain account, paste it somewhere, give you access, paste it before you be able to do a simple payment. So it looks like it's for the elite. So some of us, we still need to, too long ago.
All right, there's a question here as well.
I have a question and contribution. I'm Sylvester. The first one, I think with the blockchain, we need government involvement as well. But government cannot do it without the various state institutions. So you take for example Kenya. Kenya said they are putting or they are researching on how to put their voting system on the blockchain. They are also researching on how to put their land registry on the blockchain. Rwanda is also working on putting some of their systems on the blockchain. But we've not heard anything from our governments or our state institutions on their probably what they are doing to move some of our data or our transactions onto the blockchain. We have, even in US, we have the Security and Exchange Commission arguing with some of the blockchain technologies on whether blockchain or some of the cryptocurrencies should be considered as a security or not. So that debate is still ongoing, but we've not heard anything from our Security and Exchange Commission. Because you can invest with your company by using a cryptocurrency, and it's borderless. You have a company in Ghana, you can be able to raise money from different people from different countries. So we need the government, we need the various state institutions to get involved. And another question would be on the use case of blockchain. Some people suggest that blockchain can also be applied in social media. Social media, sometimes you have to post some information and you have to delete afterwards. But since blockchain is immutable, to the panelists, do you think blockchain can be applied in social media?
You've asked 3 serious questions and it's time for lunch, so I don't know what you're so I really think, look, the purpose of the panel is not to answer all the questions. Is to raise enough questions to stimulate good discussion. And these people are not the people who have all the answers. We are all part of the answer. So the way you've taken anything will count. Charlie, just chill. We have sessions in the afternoon that will be conversed. If we answer all the questions here, what can we do after lunch? So I beg, just relax. And our government, they are doing free SHS. So I'll take final comment. Somebody should elect himself on the panel to answer. The rest, just sit by them, join lunch and ask the question. I beg.
Okay, so one question I want to answer from Prince is about the length of the blockchain is too long. So just imagine your bank account, how many people are in that bank? You don't know. So this is an account that the whole world, you are looking at the whole world. Each person can have an account. So what do you think will be the length of that address? So we have to.
I give us a Ghana code.
And it goes to a lot of encryption, so they make it so unique that at least you cannot generate a number twice. So you have to make sure it is very unique.
Funny enough, that was the same question I wanted to answer. But the approach I wanted to take was completely different. Okay. And I think Kojo and team over here agrees with me. It's a great opportunity for you to create a user-friendly interface to solve the problem. If you don't want to do it, anybody here can take that up.
On that note, hack backwards. This is one of the. I've enjoyed many things, but this one was very enjoyable. I learned a lot, made a lot of notes. It's good to have the recording to listen. I think that sometimes you think go and buy a book and read. Listen to such wisdom, listen to the questions. If you sort of reflect on it, you realize you learned a lot of things, right? So this is a really good learning opportunity, and I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for inviting me. I want to bring back Kafri to set the scene for post panel 1. So please welcome Kafri one more time. All right.
Big round of applause for our moderator, expert in outlet. What was the name that came off the blockchain? I lost it. Over lunch, I'll find out exactly what the history of that name was. Whether it was taken off the blockchain. But he did a masterful job of getting the issues out, and we want to thank our panel also. Please give them a big round of applause. So it's now time for lunch. Lunch will be happening in the restaurant, but not inside the building, closer to the pool. So we'll have a view of the pool while we're eating. And that happens now. We'll be back here at 1:45. It's now about 25 minutes to 1. We're back 1:45 for lightning presentations moderated by Professor Nina Kukweno. So there are so many highlights, blockchain and cryptocurrencies, utility for DNS ecosystem in Africa. And somebody was talking about how the tech guys tried to intimidate us with acronyms. So there's DNS going on there. We've got, what else can we give you this? The future of digital health, converging blockchain and next generation artificial intelligence technologies to decentralize and accelerate biomedical research and healthcare. Yeah, if Bernard was here, he would have remixed that title straight. Cryptocurrency exchange, blockchain hackathon. That should be quite interesting. All about blockchain, academic certificates on blockchain, so many issues and so many interesting things happening. So for now, yes, we're going for lunch right now. So we're going to descend, and even if lunch is not ready, we'll network. Lunch is going to be ready in a couple of minutes, about 10 minutes. Yeah. So thank you very much for your attention. And Susie will show you where to go for the lunch. Thank you very much. Give her a round of applause. Welcome back. Thank you very much. Ready for business? I'm just curious though, how many of you ate fruits at lunch today? Okay, just raise your hand, I won't see. Okay, it's like 20%. How many of you ate the fruits first before all the goodies? I hear that is the correct way to eat the food though. You eat the fruits first to open the way. And for those of you who want to lose weight, that's actually a good way to lose weight. Because after you eat the fruits, it's taking up some space already. So that all the stuff that makes you put it on, you reduce the volume of that stuff. Wow. So I was just curious, that's all. But you had lunch. How many of you enjoyed lunch? Yeah, most of us. Yeah, all of us. Thank you very much. So many thanks to our partners, sponsors for making this happen. This is going to be very fun and interactive. So I was asking Professor Queno, who is going to be the moderator for the next two sessions, what exactly is a lightning presentation? And he said, well, basically that's it. That's what it sounds like. Lightning presentation, very fast. And it's gone. So it's 10 minutes after each presentation, only one question. Because one. And then we'll try and get through as many presentations as possible. And then we'll have a big open session at the end where we'll fire away till we go home. So it's as simple as that. Without much ado, I want to hand over to the convener of the Ghana Blockchain Conference, Professor Naku Queno, to take us through the lightning presentation. He will take us to our tea and coffee break. So the first one. Thank you very much. Give him a big round of applause.
I guess what we'll do is we'll look for who is ready, and then we will start with that. So the first one is blockchain and cryptocurrencies. Mr. Bismarck, if you like. So we have
I'm the timekeeper.
Yes.
I'm the timekeeper.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
All right. Good afternoon, and thank you, Ghana Blockchain Conference, for having us. We are pleased to partner with you on this one. Okay. Because the time is short, and I'll try to make it brief and straightforward. I'm talking on blockchain and cryptocurrencies generally. And I know a lot has been said already about the technology, but then it still sounds very complex. And so I try to break it down despite the complexities. And so in my research, I found something that I thought would be much simpler to explain blockchain, and it is just another type of database for recording transactions, okay, one that is copied to all the nodes on the network. It is sometimes referred to as the distributed ledger, which we already have heard several other speakers say. And the data on the blockchain is stored in a fixed structure called the blocks. All right, and the blocks have two parts. We've got the header and the content. So the header includes the metadata, such as the unique block reference number and then the time the block was created. And the link that takes you back to the previous block. So this is contained in the header. And then when you come to the content, it's usually a validated list of digital assets and instruction statements, such as the transactions that have been made on the blockchain and the amount involved in the transaction, and then the addresses of the parties for those transactions or involved in the transaction. Now, with the latest block, it is possible to access all previous blocks linked together in the chain. So a blockchain database is able to retain the complete history of all the transactions executed since the very first one. And that is why we've kept saying that it's transparent and all of that. So whatever happens on the blockchain, there is always a record of it that you can always go back to and refer. All right. So all right. So this makes it verifiable and independently auditable, because you know that once you get onto the blockchain, you can actually see from the very first day all transactions that have occurred. All right. I'm using transaction because mine is linked to cryptocurrency, which I will get to very soon. Now, as the number of participants grow in that particular network, okay, it becomes harder for malicious actors to overcome the verification activities of the majority. And so by this, we know it is unattractive to attempt hacking a blockchain network. All right. Therefore, the network becomes increasingly robust and secure. Blockchain, we've learned, is critical for data protection, assuring financial inclusion, and accelerated national development for our good, which we've learned this morning. But then, I want us to touch on these few benefits. And it's come to be that blockchain is facilitating the use of new methods of processing digital transactions as digital currency. It is reducing the risk associated with the financial sector, i.e., I'm referring to fraud here, and then the cost involved in verifying transactions. So blockchain has actually removed third parties such as the banks and other financial institutions to complete a transaction. So when I send assets or money, Bitcoin or any other currency, I don't need any intermediary, any bank to approve before the person intended to receive that transfer gets it. So blockchain is peer-to-peer. All right. So long as you are on the network, you are involved, and you can receive. And then we've learned about smart contracts also that ensures almost no human interaction. But then, despite these merits of the technology, it is yet to be fully embraced, especially in our part of the world. And it's good that the central bank was here so that they would look at how possible best they can adopt this for our good. And so that would be my brief on blockchain. I hope it has made some sense. I hope I broke it down a bit from the technical jargons. So I will touch on cryptocurrency, which I'm very much interested in. But then, when you look at money, cryptocurrency is a form of money. And so I just want us to remember a bit about how we used to transact. All right? We know that we didn't just wake up one day and there was money, paper notes for us to use. Okay, it started with the barter system. So I have a goat, you have cassava. I want to eat fufu today. You have the cassava, I have the goat. I need cassava for my fufu, so I would have to come to you. And if you are interested in the goat, you exchange it with my cassava, so I can get what I need to go and prepare my fufu. So then, what happens if you are not interested in the goat? It means I don't get to transact because you are not interested in what I have to offer. So obviously, there was a challenge there. And then we came to the coins. So we started from the barter, and then we moved to the coins. And you realize that for small amounts, you would have to carry a lot of coins. Heavy as well to carry. It's not so convenient when you carry such coins and you need to pay. Sometimes when I watch some of the movies, I've only seen them in the movies because I don't think I'm that old. And you see when they what comes to mind readily is Spartacus, when they are trading the slaves, okay? And they carry coins to buy them, and quite a load. And so we had to move on from the coins. And then paper money was printed. And that one too, well, not so long ago, we had to do redenomination of our currency just to reduce the amount of notes we carry, right? So we had to move from that phase. And then we still saw that when you carry your briefcase, some assume that once it's a briefcase, there is money in it, and you were prone to attacks. And so we moved to the card system, plastic money, if you like. So Visa card, MasterCard, etc. were also created. And so you can hold several amounts of money on these cards, and you can get access to them as and when you want, as and when it becomes necessary. Then there is something funny that happens, which I always question myself. My Visa card will just be lying down and I get an alert. I've been deducted some amount for card maintenance fee. And then I begin to wonder, the card is with me. Did you come for it to wash it? Or if you've built the system and I have the card, what is card maintenance? Why are you charging me card maintenance fee? Whether I've used it or not. And if I use it, so what? All right. So, and the charge too is not something small. It's big charge. so for some of these things, cryptocurrencies were invented. Well, of course, recently I came across a document that's supposed to come from the original blog of Nakamoto, the guy who is supposed to have created Bitcoin, i.e. the all right, so basically, because the time is short, let me just move on. So cryptocurrency is revolutionary peer-to-peer electronic cash system that can protect consumer anonymity and prevent government intrusions. All right, it successfully addresses the worldwide concerns with the current financial system's inefficiencies, exorbitant fees, which I just give an example, and uncontrolled inflation and the big brother oversight thing. All right, so it is owned by the people, and no government or bank or company can control it. Okay, and I'm using control, but this is different from regulating it, or as Prof earlier on said, coordinating the use of the currency. So yes, it can be coordinated or regulated, but then it is not controlled by anyone. And then transactions are verified by a decentralized technology network secured by cryptography and consensus. All right, so no central authority is needed to verify transactions on the government, or no government, no banks, or no companies. All right, so in winding up, I just want to touch briefly on what, as a Ghanaian institution, we are doing. eCryptoPay, we are basically into cryptocurrency trading and education. So we hold seminars sometimes here to train people on the technology, and as well, we have our exchange platforms, and then we have an investment program running alongside as well. All right, so we saw the opportunity to create our own currency to be a strong backup for what we have created, i.e. the investment and the exchange program. And that is what you see us with the ECP coin, with our stand out there. So we've created this ECP coin on the Ethereum blockchain, and there are a number of things we are doing with the coin to ensure that it becomes acceptable worldwide. So as part of the uses of the coin, you can use it to invest because it's a true cryptocurrency. You can invest, you can hold it, and then you can trade it on any of the big platforms. So ECP coin can also be used to purchase items on our store that we are currently developing, the ECP stores, and it will be accepted by real estate companies. We've already signed MOUs with some of them. And then currently, we are working on our apps, and that's the Android and the desktop, so that with the maintained power that our coin has, you don't just need to have a wallet to. All right. All right. So, all right. So, when the apps are ready, you can actually be holding your phone and be minting ECP coins. And our ICO is currently ongoing. So, in my conclusion, just to beat the time, I want to repeat what the Dash CEO said recently, Ryan Taylor, that the central bank issued cryptocurrencies is the inevitable future. And our central bank, I'm sure, can take the lead in this regard and run it parallel with the fiat currencies that we are used to, so that the choice of what currency to use will be in the hands of the citizenry. And I believe when we do this, gradually we will see a regular or a rapid adoption of cryptocurrency, i.e. ECP coin.
Thank you very much. Let's give you a hand.
Thank you very much. That's Mr. Bismarck Edulabi from ECP, Crypto Pay Company Limited, who are not just sponsors but exhibitors as well. So try and check out their stand when we go for a coffee break. We'll take one question, tell the rules. One question. One lightning fast question. Boom, there it is. Yes.
I think Bank of Ghana issued a directive.
Treat it like ice cream.
Bank of Ghana directive was issued, I think this was last year, discouraging the public from trading in cryptocurrency and investing in certain instruments. So you are into cryptocurrencies. How are you able to manage that?
That's it. Yeah.
Okay. We know that crypto trading has been going on for a while now. I think, yes, it's not been. They are now studying the technology to understand. But we also know that usually technology is always ahead of policy and regulations. And so we are even happy to assist the central bank. I think this is not the first time we met the first deputy governor. We've met him before at another forum. And we talked about this, that we want to be able to assist them, understand it better, and come up with something that will be good as a guideline for the way the industry operates. But believe you me, there are several traders in cryptocurrencies in Ghana. You sit in the comfort of your mobile phone and you are trading. And so really, because of its nature, being in the hands of the people, it's difficult for you to control it now. But then we are hoping that with all these forums that are going on, all of us will be able to help them understand it and give some guidelines for the industry.
Thank you very much. Please put your hands together for him. And you have opportunity to ask him more questions. Yes, please join Prof. Yes. Yes. When you present, you drop your joy. Present a joy. The next presentation will be on a utility for DNS ecosystem in Africa. For me, I'm dying to know what a DNS is. And the next presenter will tell us exactly what it is. Vitus Aborigo, Stamp Africa, here to give us a 10-minute lightning presentation. Give him a round of applause. For all presenters, I'll be sitting there looking straight into your eyes. When I do this, it's 5 minutes left. When I do this, 2 minutes left. When I do this, 1 minute left. When I say, cut. All right. All right. Hello.